Hey everyone, this is Tracy with Color Me This. I've had a couple of days off. Today is Sunday. It is my actual birthday, and I am going to be coloring. I don't know when I will post this. It might be today and it might be later. I have this 2 coloring pages for Christmas. I've already shared them in a previous video I think it was a weekly review where I said these are the 2. I had my husband pick them. So I am going to sit here and film as I color this page. I am going to attempt my very own first speed coloring where I just want to get some coloring done and I don't want to overthink it. I am using the least used set that I own. I just haven't had a lot of time to use them yet. So they are my Holbeins. I own 90 of them. It's not a complete set, but the palette is pretty well represented here with the colors that I picked. Doing a speed version, I may actually, in addition to coloring very quickly, probably not talking a whole bunch, maybe a little. It might be all sped up to make it just be nice and quick and fun. I want to get both of these pages finished, so the next page, which is in a different book, Christmas to Color, I believe, is the book. It's not even around me right now. That one I'm probably going to do on Christmas Eve because my goal is to have both of them finished before Christmas is done. So this particular artist, Teresa Goodridge, I'm in her Facebook group. She has a very unique style. Before we get to the page, this is representative of her style. There's these dark lines and then some thinner lines. And if you look carefully at the dark lines, they kind of have the look of like a wood block sort of a look to them. And I wanted to share a piece of art from, I believe, maybe high school, like maybe 9th grade. I don't think it was junior high, but I did it. I was very into the Dragon Riders of Pern back in the day. This actually probably looks very similar to one of the covers of one of the Dragon books, and it is done on like this linoleum covered or block that then you took a knife and you cut away the pattern. I can see where I used like a heavy knife and then I used a very thin knife to do the shape after I wrote the pattern on with a pencil, I believe. And this has been framed. The reason why it is so yellow is because it is like 40, probably 41 years old. And I've had it framed for many years. I just received it when we did our pod. And let me lighten this up a little bit because I didn't realize it was quite so dark. And let's see if I can do that for you. There we go. I will darken everything back up when we switch to the coloring mode. So there it is. There's my dragon, and it is printed on newsprint. So very well protected. There's a little bit about me. I have had a wonderful couple of days. Evidently, yesterday my mom planned my birthday early because the pizza that I wanted, the place isn't open on Sunday. So and she wasn't clear on some of the plans, so the people thought it was Sunday, which would be today. So I just actually finished visiting with the person who thought it was today, and it was not. It was yesterday. So yesterday was cake and pizza, and it was great fun. It's the first in-person birthday with my mom in many years. 8, I believe. 8 years ago was our last one. My husband picked out this page. We're going to color it. Last night I did a mock-up of it on copy paper. So I have like a game plan because, again, I want to see how efficient I can color. We will call it efficient because I am so slow. I'm also going to be coloring at a little different angle. Let's see if I can sit up even taller because the size of this image is filling up the whole frame, so I don't want to zoom in any closer. What I am going to do, I've been playing with my settings. I did have a commenter comment that I needed to get better equipment, and I realized that my settings over time had just changed and I hadn't been tracking the changes, and I got to the point where it just wasn't a very good setup anymore. So at this point, I am turning my light on. A part of it too was that I changed my not only my lighting, but I bought a stand that includes a light ring. And then I have one more change that I have been put into place. And now I'm going to darken things here. Like so. So basically, I do have my mock-up next to me. You might see a tiny bit of it. I don't want to cheat too much and share with you the colors that I am using. I will have on the description. Again, I'm trying not to go too much into the depths, but I will have some lights and darks. And in some cases, I will be using a gray. It is going to be this gray, cool gray number 6OP536. But for the most part, the colors, I'll break them into the tones for you guys. And they're just not going to be the full depths. I'm going to go simple. I'm going to go fast. I'm actually going to start right this minute. And these are, again, I might be sped up. So when I am talking, you may or may not hear, depending on how it goes, I may speed it up, especially if I go long. And I chose the house color to get a nice pop with the Christmas colors. It's a nice backdrop for the Christmas colors. It also, we were just riding the golf cart around the other day, and Hub asked, which house color is your favorite? And he says, yellow is my favorite color. This is, by the way, me christening this book. The book, again, specifically is Home for the Holidays. Creative Haven. Teresa Goodridge is the artist. It is officially the 4th book now, since I have pencil to paper. It is the 4th book I have ever colored in. I own 82-ish books. I say that because while Libby was here and we were card making, a book came, and I have told myself I am going to wait to open it as a surprise. Probably it'll be, I have one other set of 2 books that I ordered over the holidays. It was buy one, get one half off. They were very inexpensive. And the previous one that was just a single that I bought, I believe, I can't remember if it was used or new. That's how long ago it was. So I must have ordered it 2.5, 3 weeks ago. So I'm just putting down solid color using these glorious pencils. I'm not viewing things up close like I normally would, so this is on paper I have never used. So far it's going down pretty well. These went okay on copy paper, but this paper has a little bit of tooth to it. So it has a nice, easy flow. I am sitting in a zero grav chair, but sitting up in it. I struggled the first couple of times I colored in it because I did not realize you could lock. If you were somewhere in between, you weren't sitting all the way back and you weren't sitting up, you're kind of in a tweener state, I didn't realize you could lock it in position. So I picked this particular yellow. It is the lemon yellow color. Let me get the color. Like I said, you won't, I'll try to show each color once. So this color is, it is Canary Yellow 147. I have sharpened these already for doing my mock-up. Because it was my intent to speed color or color quickly as just a little exercise for myself, I did go ahead and sharpen them as I practiced. I'm doing a quick look to see. I don't want to have to pick up pencils a lot. Again, I'm not using a lot of light to dark blending sets. I'm going to set that yellow down, and I'm grabbing my window color, which is Marigold 142. I am playing with whether or not wearing glasses at this distance is a good thing or not a good thing. So I noticed with the yellow and orange, I don't think they look very good until I get some shading, which is the gray that I showed you. And we will see how it goes. These are definitely a pretty quick coverage pencil, but they are not super buttery creamy. I think that I did that good. I may pause here and there as needed. But you guys will just see it as a flash. So the lighting, all of the lighting is going to be this marigold color. And I'm just going to very quickly be running across all of the places. Hopefully I won't miss any places. There's lighting all throughout this wonderful picture. I will say that this year has been so much fun for me, expanding my coloring, and I have my review to do next, and we'll talk about my plans. I do have a video after I do the weekly that will talk about the year in review. This is a tag video for Reflection 2024 that Karen from My Colorful Country Life already put out, and I will be answering most of the questions, not all of them because a couple of them don't apply to, my channel and what I do. So I think I have 16 or so questions I will answer. So I'm going to do that after the Christmas holiday. Get that loaded up. Not sure for next week, given the holiday being on Wednesday, if I am going to be coloring the daily color. Probably, maybe I did 4 days this week, so I'll probably do another 4 days next week or so. We'll just see. It's going to be just depending on how things go. I can definitely say with my mom now right down the road, things get pretty hectic. she's still getting settled and I'm helping her with things, and we do stuff together, which is really fun. I did not think that my current activities, I do the coloring group every other week for a couple of days, a daytime and a nighttime. And, you know, have my crafting with my friends that I do. And it's funny to feel the impact when because she's not, though she does color and she does craft, she kind of does it on her own schedule and her own way with her own supplies. So she hasn't really joined in with my schedule with that kind of stuff. But we exercise together every day, weekdays. All right, so this tree, each of these chunks are going to be snow. I'll just establish that. I'm now checking for more lights. I'm so used to coloring small images and parts of images. So it is interesting to be blasting around the whole page, putting in my color blocks so quickly. I realized too that there's parts of the edges of this page that you won't be able to see. So I've made a game plan for next year. I always say I'm not going to talk, and then I do. So this is probably going to be called a color and chat, as that is what is morphing into. I think the edges of these stars, I will be using a shimmer pen of some variety. The colors is coming out nicer than it did on the copy paper. A little bit more vibrant. All right, I think that I have done all of the lighting. I am going to now, this is a brown, it is chocolate. I have a few browns, 86 is the number, and I'm going to, this is kind of the warmest brown. I do only own three browns and then a tan or two. So I'm going to just quickly sketch down on the trees, and then there's this fence, this lovely fence. If I had more options, I would probably go with a little bit brighter wood, but this is all I've got. The 90 that I own, the first 34 were planned. I did prepared blends, and then I ordered a few more, I think still kind of fleshing colors out, and then I ordered a lot of 57. I used lot, and those are now where I'm seeing some gaps. I'm going to fill in these other areas with the other two. I have a darker and one that's not as reddish. So my goal, to color a little different than I normally color, is to try not to have a bunch of white on the page. I'm going to go with more solid colors and then some shading with the gray. And then I did bring in, I think, 5 greens. So there's 5 total greens altogether. I'm going to rotate some, which means I will rotate you guys as well. because the angles, I don't want to be cutting off as my hand goes across the whole image. So I'm excited to go through. I have done with my friend Dawn, who was visiting before I colored. She helped me find some winter. I own 0 winter books. So I'm ready to finish these 2 Christmas images in my 2 Christmas books I own and put those away for the season. There may be some nice winter scenes, but instead of looking through these 2 Christmas books for, wintry, not necessarily Christmas, I found enough in the other books to explore, because one of my goals this winter, well, for 2025 in general, is to color in more books. So I thought I would put these away after December and move on. So I will be sharing that in the review, what those pages are. And I'm going to extend, okay, so in Florida, I don't consider our colder weather necessarily winter weather. Although today it was in the 40s. Still sunny though. It gets sunny and dry here. All right, I have a big reach. So now we're going to take this book and put it the other way so that I can get, there we go. I can get at this tree. And hopefully not change the focus. I love the cute little gnomes. There are 2 gnomes on this page and a nutcracker. I thought they were very cute. I was glad when Hub picked this one, though pretty much every page in this book are very cute. So some of the trim of the house is going to be white. The shutters are going to be blue. I am done with the first brown. I'm going to go ahead and finish the browns. I'm bringing in a darker brown. The darker brown is Sepia 182. I guess technically the shadow side in this image should be the side with the heavier line. I'm just going to use that as my prompt for the shadows. I don't even know if you could see that. Yep, you can see that. Get down to the fencing here. I'm gonna bring the chocolate back. Chocolate. All right, I have a lightest color. It's not really very light. Burnt Umber 180. It actually seems more colorful than chocolate. I just don't see any way that I can get by without turning. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it. All right. All right. I'm going to go right into green, starting with, there's a darker one than this. Where is the darkest green? It is right here. All right, darkest green is fir green. And then right after it is going to be forest green 267. Fir green is 266. So I'm going to be blocking in all sorts of green. The holly is going to be different than the evergreen tree greens. I think I'm going to have to go this direction. And let's just see how this goes. So on each of these wreaths seems to be red in sort of a pinwheel shape, almost like it's a mandala. So that is what I am going to be doing. The darkest green. So the trees I'm actually going to go ahead and do more dark to light. With the actual color. And I've already found this one area that I designated to be yellow that I need to go back. I tried not to have to pick up the color multiple times. So all of the holly bits will be a different color of green. All right, our last evergreen fir green, is going to be this big tree. believe all the hollies are left. Okay, I'm going to grab the holly. For holly, I'm going to be using Peacock Green 248. I will tell you that I do have to pick up the fir green, the darkest green, because that is the dark for these hollies. But I am going to get the color block in first. These squirrels are so cute. My friend who came to visit and help pick out winter images from my coloring book collection came to visit in her golf cart, and she parked right in the back. Nobody ever parks in the back here, which is on the trail. And the squirrels went bananas going through her rig. I don't think they really did get inside, but they were under it and looking for snacks all around the wheels underneath it. I don't think they ever got inside. So I'm not worrying about the shape of the holly. I'm just kind of coloring it all in. And there is some red. There's berries. Trying to leave a little bit of white for the berries when we get to the red. As I mentioned, these are not like a buttery, creamy soft. They're silky-ish, and they have a little bit of a sound to them. Not unpleasant at all. And we've got a little more holly up at the very top. And the very, very top. Okay, that is the bluish green. I think before I'm going to do forest. Forest green is the next lightest color. And it's actually still pretty vibrant. Now, I am going to maybe use this for the dark. Let's see. That's not bad. Oh, and I completely forgot the dark green on this wreath. moving down. So one thing I am noticing, aside from now being really quiet, I am not doing light layers. I am just going for pretty much color blocking. All right, I'm going with one lighter. I am now onto holly green, which I really didn't like the color of this as holly. It was too green. I like the bluey green, glossy leaf look. Okay, so I'm going to hold in my hand that green, and I have sepia 182 because I need to make this very dark. Okay. And I don't want to forget that. I don't see any other missing browns, but I wanted to catch that while I had it on my mind. All right, I have to move up. I do not know how am I doing. 47 minutes. Okay, I have to switch to red. I'm feeling the pressure. It is on. I do have a shaded red and a red. So it's like reds and greens. I was okay with having a little more depth, but for the yellow and the blue, which you haven't even seen yet, that is going to be gray. I don't know if 3 months ago I could have colored this fast. Just not sure I could have done it. Cute little candy canes. Okay, nutcracker. Not really sure the formal nutcracker attire. I think I went too much too dark. Okay, here's my red. Carmine 42. those are the reds down below. I tend to wander, don't I? Did not fill in that all the way. That green wreath. All right, I think as I am skimming the red, oh, forgot a complete giant bow right here. And a little bow right here. And if in case I did not speed it up, I'm going to keep going until it's done. So for over an hour, that is okay. All right, brick. We have some brick work to do. It is all going to be done with the wine red 060, which is the dark red. I actually even do have, I think, a darker red that I can partner with this, or the dark gray, either way. I'm rotating my pencil here to get some. This is a softer paper, so the sharper your pencil is, which this is actually getting a little dull. So if I rotate it, I can get some sharp edges out of it, and that darker color. I'm going to sharpen this. I have to grab the yellow. The lighting yellow, which is marigold, because if I don't do it, I will forget these little light bits. I thought I had more right here. That could have been red. Probably should have been red. Nope. Now we have Carnation 031. This is my lightest red. So there were 3 reds. I am now holding all 3 reds in my right hand. Let's see. I have not erased on this paper, and I see a need for this wonderful circle shape here to be red. Oop, wow, I actually pushed hard enough to break the tip. All right. I've got okay. Gonna do a little bit on this Christmas sign. All right, so that's the reds. I have a tiny fix here on the green. I do have a need for a little more red. Let's see if we can make the holly berries stand out. All right, I do have, I'm going to pause 1 sec. All right, we're at 1 hour, 10 minutes, and I'm still going. I had to pull this color, the Coral 24. Okay, had to pull the Coral. Two non-Christmassy colors. And I probably should have flip-flopped, so I did that a little bit wrong. I was going to have the gnomes. He was not supposed to have top and bottom be the same color. Coloring the gifts. Okay, I gotta back up. You will want to know what the green is. The green, the light green, evergreen 254 was the hat and the body. Got a little too fast. Wisteria 430 is this gnome's hat. And the purple is 441 Violet. I'm going back to the light green. All right, we're going to work on the snow. Snow is Sky Blue 324. All right, it is coming along, but I'm not quite able to finish it in an hour. I'm at an hour and 15 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Do all the YouTube things, like, share, comment, and consider subscribing. And I will have a part 2 where I finish this page up and add all of the shadows, the shadow bits that I have not added thus far. So come back, keep an eye out, put on the bell so you can see the alert for when part 2 of my Christmas house gets loaded up. I hope to see you there.